Hi, this is Ryan Calloway with AZ Health Insurance Brokers. The purpose of this video is to discuss 3 common mistakes to avoid at your renewal time. So number 1 is not shopping your insurance. This is really dependent on size. If you're only insuring 1, 2, 3 employees, you're kind of stuck in an isolated segment called community rating, and it might make sense to just stay put. But with scaling, with growth, things like that, when you have more than 10 enrolling employees, it really makes sense to shop this stuff every year. Carriers go through cyclical cycles, meaning that who was really buying market share last year, they might not be buying market share this year. So it's important to take a fresh look at everything on an annual basis and really get all the options laid out in front of you. And we do this for our clients, and your broker should be as well. So we'll show every single option from every carrier, kind of comparing it against what they have and showing the rates against one another as well. Sometimes it makes sense to pivot, sometimes it makes sense to stay put. Really depends on your individual company and your risk pool as well. The second biggest mistake we find is that employers, they kind of get in a rut with their insurance and they just keep the same plans year over year. So your employee perspective is important, and what I mean by that is maybe be a little tactical, and if you get an increase, let's say it's 8%, offer your employees the option to keep their same plan at a higher cost, or offer a new option that's going to be at the same cost but maybe a little skinnier in terms of the benefit layout. And then at least you're giving your employees the option to, hey, do I like the plan that I'm on, and do I want to pay a little bit more for what I had last year, or do I want to spend a little bit less and kind of reduce some of the benefits that lay under the plan. So just my thought, my perspective, it's always important to think about these kind of things as if you were the employee. And I think when you put yourself in their shoes, it really helps make better decisions ultimately. And you should budget for an increase year over year. Unfortunately, things are getting more expensive, not cheaper. Insurance falls in that category as well. So expect an increase. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but generally what we see is in between 5 and 12% on an annual basis in 2023. And then the third point is moving carriers without looking at all the pieces. So I can't tell you how many times I've seen a group pivot plans, and maybe what was an oversight was the ER copayment, for example, where you had an ER copayment on your previous plan and it pivots to deductible coinsurance on your new plan. Well, an employee might have went to the ER last year and it cost him $300, let's say. Well, now it's going to cost him $2,500. So it's really important that you look at all these variables, because insurance is more than deductibles, out-of-pocket maximums, and coinsurance. Really, the network, the prescription drug formulary, how the emergency room is covered, how our major diagnostics are covered, all that's really important. And you really don't want your staff to be blindsided by an oversight. Dental is actually also a haven for mistakes. For example, some carriers have major waiting periods and others don't. What falls under your basic versus major coverage tiers. So, and your network, obviously, that's important too. So there's more to this stuff than just the dollars. And I really encourage you to dive into those granular details to make sure that you're making the right decision for your employees. So to recap, that's been the 3 major mistakes that we see at renewal time. Thank you.